Hi, I'm Jake DeMisa.
And I'm Dominic Arbolino, and this is a special edition of Sports Unfiltered.
With the NHL season only weeks away, fans are excited for the action.
Preseason games will be starting in the upcoming days, and we're here to make our predictions for the upcoming season.
Yeah, it should be a great year in the NHL, but let's start with the most improved player. Nobody expected goalie Devin Dubnyk and Vladimir Tarasenko to break out last year, and the same will be said about other players at the end of this year.
Dubnyk was a journeyman in his 8-year playing career, most for Edmonton and Arizona before Minnesota, but the Great Wall of St. Paul broke out early in 2015 and became a Vezina finalist.
Tarasenko was mostly a role player for the St. Louis Blues his first 2 years, but that all changed last year when he scored almost 40 goals and had over 60 points in the 2014-15 campaign.
I'm going to kick this off and say Ryan Strome breaks out this year. Strome spent time on all 4 lines last year and tallied the 3rd highest point total on the team. If the Islanders ever decide to trade out Poso and Strome played with Tavares, he could easily have a 70 to 80 point season.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Islander fans are going to hate me for this one, though. I'm going to pick Chris Kreider from the New York Rangers to have a monster year. With St. Louis now retired and watching at home, and Carl Hacken playing in Anaheim, a major role in the offense has opened up for the former first-round pick. Kreider has a rare combination of power and speed that most players don't have, and he could easily hit the 35 to 40 goal plateau this year.
Being an Islanders fan, I would hate to see that, but it could happen. The reigning Calder Rookie of the Year, Aaron Ekblad, had a great year for a defenseman last season, but who will follow his footsteps?
This one's easy for me. I mean, Connor McDavid, we've been talking about him for years. He has superstar potential coming out of Erie, and many have tabbed him to be the next Sidney Crosby. McDavid could play top-line minutes right off the bat if he moves to right wing, but the more likely scenario is playing on the second line with Taylor Hall and Neil Yakupov. With his talent, he could easily have a 65 to 70 point season even on the second line.
I'll have to agree with that. I'm tempted to say Jack Eichel, but how could you bet against the superstar talent of McDavid? Edmonton has rumored to play Taylor Hall on line 2 with McDavid and Yakupov. If that happens, then the potential is undeniable. Even if Pouliot plays there over Hall, McDavid should have no problem at least eclipsing 50 points this year. A dark horse to consider defender Noah Hannafin from Carolina.
Now it's time for the Vezina, our best goalie, and unlike last year with Carey Price, I don't think this player will also win the MVP award. With that being said, I think that the player to win this is again Carey Price. After a phenomenal year last year, Price seems to be in a league of his own, and I don't see that changing here. Although I love the breakout potential of Alex Galchenyuk, and PK Subban is a top 5 defenseman, I think Carey Price is the one who eventually makes or breaks this team. And if they want to win a cup, Price is the guy to go to. He would be the first back-to-back winner since Marty Brodeur in 2006 through 2008.
Price is great, but I have Jonathan Quick winning the Vezina this year. Quick has consistently been a top goalie for years before taking a decline last year. He still has the talent and defense in front of him to be consistently good, and I think that translates into success this year.
Yeah, the former Stanley Cup MVP could have a great year this year.
Yeah.
The final award we have to predict is the Hart Trophy, or MVP award. After a third-place finish a year ago, I have John Tavares finally taking home the award. The Islanders captain has been on or just about on a point-per-game basis in the last 4 years, with the highest point total coming last year with 86. The team didn't improve much over the offseason, but they also didn't lose much, and they stayed basically the same, and the chemistry should be there. Letting Lubomir Vrachnovsky walk could hurt the team, and trading away Michael Gradner will lose speed, but the main point getters are still there, and Tavares could still have a big leap forward this year, and other young players as well. Even without a Poso on the top line, Tavares could have an MVP year this year.
Even if it wasn't for Jamie Benn, I bet Tavares would have won.
Yeah, and he could easly step up his game this year and get 90 points, also winning the Art Ross.
Well, I hope you're right on that one, but I'll have to go with Sidney Crosby taking the Hart Trophy once again. the two-time winner, and had a very good chance to reach 100 points this season with the team's addition of right wing Phil Kessel from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That was a great trade for them.
He's projected to play with Crosby on the first line, which would make the NHL's best player have a monster year and lead the league in points once again.
Another era of Crosby coming. Finally, it's time for our Stanley Cup prediction, and there were so many different ways we could have gone.
My pick this year may shock some people, but I'm going with the Los Angeles Kings against the
No way.
Washington Capitals.
No way.
The Capitals significantly improved their roster when trading for forward TJ Oshie over the offseason and might have one of the best lines in hockey with Oshie, Backstrom, and Ovechkin.
Many of you probably remember Oshie from the Olympics a couple years ago when he lit it up.
The other three lines are solid as well. Like goalie Braden Holtby, it should be a good season for the Capitals. The additions should give Ovi a chance to finally win his first cup. The Kings missed the playoffs last year, but won the Cup the year before. While they lost some key pieces like Williams and Lucic at their ages in an improvement, they still have former Stanley Cup MVP and Quick. I have the Kings beating the Capitals in 6 to win the Stanley Cup.
And if that happened, that'd be pretty interesting to see Justin Williams play the Kings again.
Yeah.
I mean, after leaving there last season, be a nice series to see.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Nashville Predators against the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Cup. In my opinion, the Predators have the best defense in the league, with captain Shea Weber, Roman Josi, and Seth Jones.
Yeah.
Shea Weber will be leading the way. They also have arguably the best goalie in the NHL with Pekka Rinne, who got hurt last year but came back strong. With those two areas so strong and experience on their side, they have a good chance to make a run this year. The Lightning are the reigning Eastern Conference champions and lost in 6 games to Chicago Blackhawks last year. But they didn't lose much either, and their defense and goalie is also strong.
Phenomenal.
That can give them another chance to make the Cup this year. And with the added experience, I think that this team will win the Stanley Cup in 6 games. And Steven Stamkos could be the guy to have a breakout year this year.
This was Dom and Jake with NHL predictions.
Make sure to check out our fantasy football show. And also remember, for all things Sailor Nation, we are the Sailor Station.